Mic check 1, mic check 2. If you are watching this live stream back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters and skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm still setting up and giving people some time to tune in. Woo. Guys, I hope you had an awesome day in the market. I hope you had an awesome day in the market, and I hope you had an awesome day in life. Have an awesome show ready or coming up for you guys tonight. And I'm looking forward to getting another one in the books. My portfolio recovered from that bloodbath that happened on Friday. Didn't get all of it, but it got a lot of it back. I feel a lot better than I did on Friday. Oh my. Yeah. Also, we got another video that came out earlier today. I believe I released it around noon. I have a link to it in the description, and it is about creating watch lists on the ThinkorSwim platform. So I believe that's very important to share with you guys, because I have a lot of watch lists that you probably don't have, or you don't know how to set up on your platform. So I walk you through how to do that in that video. It's a very simple title: how to create a watch list on ThinkorSwim. It's just very simple, and not trying to be flashy about it. Get right to the point. All right, so let's get this social stream ninja loaded up and ready to go. So let's check this out. All right, that's good. That's looking good. Let's share the stream over on Facebook. And we just counting down to 11 o'clock, guys. That's all we waiting on at that point. All right, so we got the volume where I want it. Let's check it again. Yeah, that's decent. All right, delete. Now let's share the stream. There we go. All right, we are live. We are live. Share now. Bam. All right. All right, guys, we're just waiting on 11 o'clock. I want to share something with you guys. We have to constantly be in a state of learning. Learn, learn, learn. Read. Even if you think you know something, it might slip your mind after a while, especially if it's not something that you spend enough time engaging in repetition or reading it over and over again or practicing it over and over again. It might slip your mind. Read, guys. Read. Educate yourself. Take courses. Watch videos. Read, but apply what you're learning. You get a better understanding of stuff when you apply what you're learning. Please, it's very important. That's what I'm engaging in, and it's paying off. And I feel kind of goofy about some of the stuff that I've been reintroducing myself to, because I'm thinking I'm discovering something new. And this was something that I actually forgot about that I had already read and learned before. So yeah, guys, that's very important. So we got one more minute left until showtime, and we can go ahead and get the show started. Yeah. And we are approaching 100,000 views on this channel. We're less than 700 views away. So guys, anything you can do to help make that happen would be much appreciated. Share, like, subscribe, anything will help us reach this milestone faster. So I just wanted to put that out there. All right, it's 11 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God it's Monday, guys. It is Monday. Thank God. All right. Now, tonight, we are taking a look at ticker META. You might know them better as Meta. Meta Platforms Incorporated was founded in 2004 by 5 Harvard students, Mark Zuckerberg being one of those founders, with the first office opening in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Now they're publicly traded on the NASDAQ and have a market value over $1 trillion. Yes, that's T, trillion Meta is in the interactive media and services industry in the communication services sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Meta's competitors are Alphabet Incorporated, ticker GOOGL, Reddit Incorporated, ticker RDDT, and Pinterest Incorporated, ticker PINS. We're going to preview Meta's upcoming earnings, visit their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, FB for Facebook, and an X for X. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. We have a chat. Hey, Night Bella is in the house. Let me pull up the chat. Man, I appreciate you. Here we are. Here we go. Like and share. Got it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. We coming up on that milestone. Every little bit helps. Glad to see you tonight. Hope you had an awesome day. Looking forward to getting this show done. All right, there we go. Earnings highlights. So let's get to the earnings, guys. Bam. Take that down there. Take that down. All right, we're good. And this is a video, so I'm going to play it. I had this pause. It was getting on my nerves. Let's get the video played. All right. Here we go. Let's get to it. Meta Platforms Incorporated, ticker. Let's do this one more time. Something threw me off. Meta Platforms Incorporated, ticker symbol META, the $1.5 trillion company is reporting its second quarter 2026 earnings on Wednesday, July 29th. They have a 52-week high of $796.25, which took place on August 15th, and a 52-week low of $520.26 that occurred on March 27th, which is a trading range of $275.99. And they closed today at $593.87. Meta Platforms Incorporated is expected to report $60.3 billion in revenue on the top line, with an expected adjusted EPS of $7.39, which would be approximately 1.1% higher than the $7.31 they reported the previous quarter. The earnings will be released after the market close, followed by a 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time conference call. That 52-week high compared to today's closing of $593.87 represents a decline of 25.42% over a span of 11 and a half months. So if someone invested $1,000 in August at that 52-week high of $796.25, they would be seeing a loss of $254.20. Woo, we did that. All right, now let's move on, guys. Let's move on. Bam. All right, let's talk about researching a company. Got it. All right, let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? Where we look for those answers in four main areas. The homepage for the goods and or services. About us for purpose, vision, values, and mission statements. Careers for employee benefits and opportunities. And investor relations for stock quotes, charts, and financial reports. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go visit Meta's website. All right, bam. Let's blow this back up. We paused in that video. That's why I was a little off during what I was saying, because that video in my peripheral was driving me crazy. I'm like, pause. All right, now let's put their ticker back up. All right, we're good. We can go over. All right. I know exactly where we need to go, guys. So we're just going to browse over this homepage because being as so, they selling stuff. That's the majority of what we're going to see. They want to get these glasses sold. Meet the all new Meta glasses. Bold colors, signature styles, powerful AI starting at $299. Explore the Meta store. Meta glasses by Kylie, Ray-Ban Meta, Oakley Meta, Meta Ray-Ban display, Meta Quest S3, Meta Quest 3S. Why buy from Meta? Free 2-day delivery, free 30-day returns, worry-free warranty, buy now, pay later. The latest from Meta. All right, guys, we're at the bottom of the page. Now, this is where we're going to go right here. We got About Us. So we're going to go to About Meta and or company info, careers, and for investors. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and go to About Meta. Bam. All right, another video. And it looks like this goes through like 4 different things. Yeah, okay. So we're building the future of human connection and the technologies that make it possible. Our innovations give people new ways to connect, and we're committed to helping keep everyone safe and making a positive impact. Catch up on the latest news. Shop the latest devices and expand your world. Glasses, glasses, glasses. Connect in new ways with our products. Stay informed about our actions, safety and expression, data and privacy, responsible innovation. Meet our leadership. So there's Mark Zuckerberg, the guy I mentioned earlier in the show. All right, we're at the bottom of the page. Let's go ahead and go to company info. See if we got anything different. Our mission. Yes, we got it. All right. Our mission, build the future of human connection and the technology that makes it possible. That's another video. Remember, the links to these websites are down in the description for your convenience. If you see something you want to spend a little bit more time on. Our principles. Give people a voice, build connection and community, serve everyone, keep people safe and protect privacy, promote economic opportunity. Our history. When Facebook launched in 2004, it changed the way people connect. Got it. Not going to read all that. We'll be all day. So join us and working at Meta, research at Meta, meet the people at Meta. I have a few different things we can browse through right there. Catch up on the latest news. Mark Zuckerberg again. All right, now we're going to go to careers. Guys, we're looking for the benefits. How well do they take care of the employees? And then we'll be going to the charts shortly. All right, I'm going to just keep scrolling. Search Meta careers. Our best ideas happen together. Teamwork drives innovation, cultivates human connection, and supports constant learning. Got it. Push the boundaries of AI, create leading spatial platforms and cutting edge consumer tech, ensure efficiency, safety, and security for our technologies, At the forefront of innovation, the possibilities are endless. Benefits, guys, where are the benefits? Engage with big ideas and brilliant people. We build awesome things. I feel like, no, this is a long scroll, guys. So I'm just going to skip over some of this stuff and just keep scrolling because I'm looking to the right. I'm like, that's a long scroll. Innovate with us, collaborate and connect to drive new ideas. All right, head of edits, catch up on the latest news. All right, we're nearing the bottom. All right, guys, I didn't see anything about benefits as we scrolled over it. So let me go to, there it is. Working at Meta, it's at the tab at the top. So we go right here to benefits. It looks like they explain the hiring process, which is something that I really like when companies prepare the candidates for what to expect during the hiring process. So benefits, resources for Meta employees. Our benefits offer flexible options to help you and your family reach your well-being goals. Program offers may vary based on location. Learn more about our benefits. Okay, guys, so here's that information right here. I already feel like we spent too much time on this website, but that's where the information is. That's where it's located. So now let's go to investor relations. So right here where it says for investors, this looks slightly different from the other pages. There you go. Took us off the website. So let's blow this up. Zoom us in. Oh, we're already zoomed in. All right. So we're going to scroll over this page. I believe we're going to go right here to stock info, but let's scroll over the page first. Newsroom, investor education center, email alerts. All right, we're at the bottom. Perfect. So here we go. Stock info. Okay, there's the stock data or the stock quote. There's the stock chart and other tools for investors on their website. Even analyst coverage. Got it. All right, let's go here and get into what I got or what I found in my research about the company. We can leave that there. Here we go. So clients and partners, guys. Meta Platforms Incorporated does have clients and partners that are listed in the S&P 500. Some notable names include Salesforce Incorporated, ticker CRM, Amazon.com Incorporated, ticker AMZN, and Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT. Now let's talk about the mobile limitations. Before we look at the charts, remember professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited and don't have all the features that are available on full trading platforms. Now, let's look at Meta Platforms Incorporated on the charts. Okay, let's do that. So we go here, we go there. All right, we got the charts pulled up. Let's put the right disclaimer up and the ticker. All right, got it. Okay, guys, let's clean some of this up because I know this looks busy and crazy. I know, but it's because we've covered Meta a few times. Actually, I need to come up with a plan to start cleaning up these charts because some of these companies we cover multiple times, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So right now we are looking at a 1-year daily chart for Meta Platforms. Here's their 52-week high of $796.25. Here's their 52-week low of $520.26. Now, let's go to a higher time frame. So we're looking at a 10-year weekly. I left something on, so let me fix this. I have the zoom lock, guys. I need to unlock this. So we go to time axis, keep zoom, uncheck that, hit apply, zoom out. And now we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart, confirming that by finding 2016. So we do have a 10 full year weekly chart. Go up right here. We can see Meta 10-year weekly. That's where we're looking. So they have a 10-year low of $88.09, and they have a 10-year high of $796.25. Is that also the 52-week high? Yes, it is. All right, guys, I have a program that's open in the background that's bothering me. So let me fix this right quick and I will be right back with you. I need to put this in my notes to make sure I take care of this before we start the show. If you're tuning in, I appreciate you for being here. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel and joining the community. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. All right, so I'm ending the tags for these programs. Close that out. That didn't take long, so that's good. All right, let's get back to the charts. Yeah, guys, with the price action being up here, we really don't have anything historically we need to go over. Plus, we already have our levels, so we can go ahead and go over to the lower time frame. So we're back on the 1-year daily chart. Let me switch over to my other mouse and let's get busy. All right. So let's zoom in. There we go. Now, we already know that the yellow identifies our gaps, whether they've been filled or partially filled. Okay, so we have a few up here that have been filled since we've looked at Meta, guys. Ooh, yeah. All right. All right, so how can I do this quickly? Because that's a few different things. Because these 4 candles right here, they filled in these gaps. So we had a gap that went all the way back here. So this was the top of the gap. That's the bottom of the gap. So it started to be filled up to this point. Then the price gapped up again. So that's why it's still there. It wasn't any regular trading hours data that filled in that gap. And then, okay, we can remove it now because it has been filled in regular trading hours. Now, this is something that I found out recently that I was confirmed again recently. When we were doing these, I was noticing, like, when the price action comes back down to where a gap used to be, it would respond to it like support and resistance. Come to find out, reading my technical analysis book, that's what it does. That's part of technical analysis. So when price returns back to an area, even if it's been filled, Even if that area has been filled, that previous gap can act as support and resistance. So like right now, this is today's candle. So this is Monday, this is Friday, this is Thursday. So let's identify these gaps and then I'm gonna show you something. So here's the high, here's the low. We're gonna extend this over to December 1st. We're gonna change it to January 1st, starting in August, just letting you know. But right now we're doing December 1st, the rest of this month. So December 1st, turn is yellow. So this is a recent gap that we had between Wednesday's candle and Thursday's candle. So we have a gap there now. I'm gonna open up the property so you can see the top and bottom of that gap. So the bottom of that gap is $614.65. The top of that gap is $624. All right, so we have that. Now, these three candles look like they're just suspended in midair, like there's no levels that we had on the chart already, right? But if we go back and look, guys, there was a gap and I'm covering it. So let me take me off the screen so you can see it. These two candles right here. So we're looking at a daily chart, these two daily candles. If we use the rectangle tool and I connect it to the high of that candle and the low of that candle, and I'm going to give it a different color because we have yellow over here already. I just want this to stand out. What's a good color to use? I don't want it to look too crazy. Let's use orange. And then we take this out to December 1st because that'll be more than enough. I hope this don't hurt my eyes. Ugh, that look nasty. Let me change this to white. We can shade this. That look crazy. that's too busy. Let's use this. Let's just shade it gray. Let's do that. That's easier on the eyes. Okay, put me back on the chart. Now we can notice that previous gap, this is where that price action came towards. And that previous gap is acting as support. So even though that's not a recent gap, if we look back, we can see that price was responding to that gap. We can see that. And even back here, here's another gap. So if we use that one, extend that over December 1st, I believe this one is going to come even closer to the price action. You see that? So the price action has found support on a previous gap. Okay. So we have to start keeping that in mind. Where are gaps at? Not just support and resistance levels that we're finding with open highs, lows, and closes, but also previous gaps. So even if it's been filled, it can come back and respect it as support or resistance. So it seems like that's where Meta is finding support at from this previous gap right here. And if we put a level there, that will be $593.40. We already have levels on here, guys. I hope you can see them. So based on this candle being right here, I'm going to point out the 9-week simple moving average, the 200-week simple moving average, and then we'll come back to the lower time frame. So let me give you those. Spread this out. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. Here's the 200-week simple moving average. That's at $478.37. When the price and the simple moving average are close to one another, the bubbles will overlap and the closing price will take priority over the simple moving average. That's why I'm spreading it out so we can see it. So the 9-week simple moving average is at $597.18 on the weekly chart. So we got that. Now let's go back down to our 1-year daily chart and look at our simple moving averages. So the 9-day simple moving average and the 200-day simple moving average were close to one another. That's why you can only see one bubble. So we spread it out so we can see both. So the 200-day simple moving average is at $637.48. The 9-day simple moving average is at $633.76. So they're real close to one another, or they're near one another, being somewhere in the hundreds. So I'm seeing both of those as resistance with the price being down here. Also, the bottom of this zone, the bottom of this gap. So let's do that. Put a price level there so you can see it. $614.65. The top of that gap, $624. Simple moving average, 9. Simple moving average, 200. As far as support, I'm seeing those gaps. So we said that was $593.40. And then the bottom of those gaps, because we highlighted two of them. The first one, let me edit the property so you can see those prices. So you got $583 on the lower end of that gap. The top of the gap is $593.40, which we talked about. The other gap is that rectangle 6 or 5. I think it's rectangle 5 because we did that one first. Yeah. It's $591.83. That's the top of that gap. The bottom of the gap is $575.23. Okay. So that's what we got as far as the technicals. Let's go ahead and get our stock quote, and then we can talk about the volume when it comes to Meta. All right. So let's go here to the settings, cut on my floating data box, apply. Here we go. Mouse over today's candle. So Meta opened today at $607.22. They had a high of $611.26. They had a low of $593.13, and they closed today at $593.87. Guys, that is a strong close to the downside. That's called a bearish belt hold. Look it up. So what that is if the low and the close on a red candle are really close to one another. With this being in the hundreds, being a few cents off from the low, closing that close to the low is very bearish, guys. It's very bearish. And we can see that the next day was kind of weird. Like today, so you had Friday where it closed down here near the support. But today it opened above the body. Let me take this floating box off, and then we'll talk about the volume. It opened above Friday's body, came up to test resistance, and then sold its way off all the way back down to the $593.40 as support. That's crazy. And part of this volatility and indecision could be for the fact that we have earnings in 3 days and the market is in fear mode right now. So let's finish talking about the volume. So let's go there, floating data box, apply. Okay, so the volume. And Meta traded 11.1 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We're about to find out. So let's cut off the floating data box and let's go, take me off the screen and let's go over here to my labels. So the average trading volume for Meta, guys, is 16.1 million shares in a daily trading session. And today they did 11.1 million. So that is below average. So we're seeing lower than average volume for today, which is this candle. So that's Monday's candle. And then even on Friday, guys, we only traded, or Meta only traded 11.5 million shares on Friday. So it's below average. It's not a lot of volume coming in on Meta right now. A lot of indecision coming in. All right, now let's talk about the volume percentile. So let's put me back on the screen. Take some of this stuff off. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was only higher than 28.2% of those trading days volumes. To be exact, only 71 of those days had a lower volume than today. So DB, 71 days below. DB days below, DA days above. That's what we got on the volume percentile. And then we have earnings coming up on Wednesday this week. All right. So we got Meta done. Let's go here. And let's get it. All right. Now, if you see this fly flying around my head right now, when we open these doors, they be like, oh, it's open. And they come in the house and it is terrible trying to kill these flies. So please ignore the cameo that this fly is making. They got in the house and it's terrible trying to get them out. All right. So let's talk about the community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe. And if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. And it takes $10 to become the first sponsor of tonight's show. So let's put that up. Bam. Now let's talk about the S&P 500 index. Let's look at what the S&P 500 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. Whoa, wait a minute. I had too many things up there. The SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index. Let's go back to the charts. All right, so here we go. Bam, take that down. Got that. Okay, cool. So we're pulling up the SPY, guys. Let's get the SPY. So we go up here to the symbol box, SPY. Same thing here. Kind of crazy. All right, let's talk about this before we get to that. I had those. Yeah, I left those arrows up. All right, take me off the screen. Let's talk about it. So we're looking at the SPY on a 1-year daily chart, guys. Here's their 52-week low of $619.29. Here's their 52-week high of $760.40. So we got that. Let me put me back on the screen and let's zoom in. Let's zoom in so we can get to this price action that's going on. Yeah. Guys, it's still trading sideways to me. I've seen people drawing a triangle. So let me show you what that would look like. I've seen people doing this. And we're doing that. And they were saying the price action fell outside of it. But me personally, what my eyes are telling me is that the majority of the price action is trading in a consolidation zone. I do see that the price is coming out of what I'm seeing, but the majority of the bodies of the candles are within what I'm seeing. So let me show you what I mean. This zone right here, between these two price levels of $750 and $737.05. The majority of the bodies of these candles I'm seeing is in here. So that's sideways. I'm seeing this as trending sideways. That's what my eyes and my mind is telling me. Okay. So we have our levels here. I don't think we need anything new, but we can see that today. So we had a gap. Remember, we were talking about how the gaps act as previous. They turn into support and resistance. So we had a gap that happened between, this is Monday, between Wednesday and Thursday. So that was the gap down between this low and this high. Friday started to close that gap. And we had updated it because we looked at the spot on Friday. Now today we're going to update it again. So the high of today is, I can do this faster. I'm looking over here because I'm $745.53. I'm not going to remember that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spread this out so these price levels won't overlap. And I'm just going to snap it. So it's 745.53. We're going to edit this. 745.53. So we're going to change the bottom of that gap. 745.53. 745.53. Bam. So now we can see that that gap is starting to be closed by the following candle. So we have that identified. I don't want to have all these levels on here, guys. So I'm going to remove that price level. I just needed it to do that gap. So let me remove it, edit properties, remove the price level. There we go. And if you need to see what those prices were, there it is. The low part of that gap is 745.53. The top of that gap is 746.37. That's what I got. All right, so let me adjust this. And let's talk about the 9-week simple moving average and the 200-week simple moving average. So we're going to go to the higher time frame just to give you that, or look at it. So the 200-week simple moving average is at $547.78. The 9-week and the closing price is really close to one another. That's why I had to spread it out. So the 9-week simple moving average is at $741.79. We got it. Just got a chat. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up in a second. Oh, my brother tuned in. I got you. I'll pull you up in a second. So we got that. Now let's get the 9-day simple moving average. So the 9-day simple moving average is at $744.76. Go ahead and put a box around it. And the 200-day simple moving average is all the way down at the bottom. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut on, I'm just going to mouse over it. So when I do this, it'll be right here, guys. The 200-day simple moving average is at $698.89. I have a chat, so let me pull this up, guys, so you can see it. Click this. Bam. Take that down. Okay. My brother tuning in. 313 King. I'm saying something that's not there. 313 AKP. What's up? How do I donate again? I'm in Laredo, Texas. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Appreciate the support. The Cash App links. I can put the fresh one up on the screen. There it is. The Cash App and PayPal is on the screen right now. You can donate through there. Okay, I just seen. Oh, you said you just seen it. All right, cool. All right, I'll leave it on there for a second since you're asking for it. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Let me take that down. Let's get back to the show. We're not doing that one. We're looking at the SPY. So let's put that there. I hope I had that up there. So he has it already. We go back here. Cool. All right, we can take that down. Take that down. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't know what that's about. There we go. It's gone. All right. I'm trying to, there it is. Now it's working. Okay, guys. So today the SPY gapped up. So that's where we're getting this big green candle. Slow down. Where we're getting this big red candle from. It gapped up today. And when it gapped up, it opened above this level of support. Because once it opened above it, now it becomes support. But Friday, it was resistance because it closed down here. So it managed to open all the way up here today above the 9-day simple moving average and above that support at $744.44. Then came all the way down, broke that support, broke the 9, broke the support, came down, broke 737.05, and then managed to come back and close above the body of Friday's candle. So that's crazy volatility on the SPY today. So now what we're going to do, we're going to look at, we're going to get the stock quote for the SPY, and then we're going to talk about the volume. I believe I gave you the 200-day simple moving average and the 9-day simple moving average. And we already have our price level, guys. So that's what's going on with the SPY. Crazy volatility. All right. So let's open up the floating data box and let's talk about it. So the SPY opened today at $744.91. They had a high of $745.53. They had a low of $735.87. And they closed today at $739.09, which was a trading range of $9.66. When we look at the trading volume, guys, they traded 41.4 million shares of this ETF today. Is that a big deal? Is it a little deal? We're about to find out. So let's cut off the floating data box and take me off the screen. And let's go over here and look at the average trading volume for SPY in a daily trading session. Guys, the average trading volume for the SPY is 71 million shares in a daily trading session. And today they came in at 41 million. So that's definitely below average. So that's this big body red candle right here had below average volume. Now on Friday, they came in at 44.7 million shares on this small body candle on Friday. So we see a decrease in volume, but it looks like we have more volatility, less volume. And this average trading volume on the SPY, guys, let me put me back on the screen. This average trading volume on the SPY is constantly dropping. Like we've been looking at this every day. So the average trading volume recently, like I have it averaged out over a year's worth of time. But recently, you'd be lucky to get more than 50 million shares in a daily trading session. So it's dragging the average down. I remember it was 73 million. The average trading volume was 73 million, and now it's all the way down to 71. Well, not all the way, but the average is coming down because the recent volumes have been so low when it comes to trading volume in a daily session. All right. Now, let me point out how low this is. So now when we look at the volume percentage, the volume percentile, guys, out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was only higher than 4.4% of those trading days. Crazy. I seen it. I got your message. You said, okay, I just seen the Cash app. It's not coming up. Let me see if I can bring it up on my phone. Let me see if I can bring the barcode up, because it should be there. Give me 1 second. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. My code. Here's my code. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen so you can see it. Switch over to the other camera. Is it a cam overlay? I don't even know if that's gonna. We're gonna try. Hold on, guys. So let me go to camera backup. Overlay. That didn't work. What's going on? There we go. All right. There it is. So it should come up. That's the information. All right, about to get back to the show. Let me go here, camera overlay, back up. I didn't click so many buttons, I don't even know where I'm at. All right. Now, where was I? We were talking about the volume percentile. So with the volume percentile, today's volume was only higher than 4.4% of those most recent 252 trading days. So to be exact, so to be even more specific and dramatic about this, today's volume was only, guys, I got so much stuff going on in my mind right now. Give me 1 second. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, only 11 of those days had a lower volume than today's volume. That's what I wanted to say. That's how low today's volume was. So even with that low volume, look at how crazy this volatility is. That's crazy. And gapped up on that low volume and everything. That's nuts. All right, let's move on. So we're talking about this. Let's go here. Go to cam. Got it. Prompter. Go out of here. Close this up. All right, sector performance tracker. Time to follow the money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how they perform today. All right, let's go check that out. So we take this down. Let's go here. Ooh, these buttons. I need a producer. Trying to run this show and push all these buttons and get this different stuff going on. This is driving me crazy. Can y'all see me struggling like this? All right, so we go up here to sector performance. We got that right disclaimer up. We got that. Okay, cool. So we got the sector performance tracker pulled up, but we got arrows on here that we're not using no more. Take the light down. Let's put the right ticker up. There we go. All right, let's get some stability going again. So we got that. Now, all right, so we're looking at the 1 day time frame. So we're looking at how all of these sectors and the SPY perform today. I donated. It's all capital letters. You have all of it lowercase on the bottom of the screen. Oh, I ain't know it have to be like that. Okay, hold on a second. Let me pull up this chat. Pull up the chat. Take this down. So my brother said he donated. It's all capital letters. You have it all lowercase on the bottom of the screen. Okay, cool. I didn't know it made a difference. But I'll fix it if that's the case. Appreciate the donation. When it comes through, I'll take care of it. All right, so let me take that down. Chat, go back, put that there. All right, so the SPY, it looks flat, but we're gonna break that down in a second. So let's say, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. Let's go up here to my studies, and we're going to change this to 2 decimal places because I don't want to double this back. We're just going to address this now. You know what? It's another way for me to do this. Let me go in here, leave that on 1, and I'm going to open up the watch list on the side. So there we go. 2 decimal places is going to be over here. So the SPY went up 0.02%. That's what happened with the SPY today. So if it's flat, I'll read it from over here on the watch list because we're going to need that extra decimal space. But other than that, we'll read the labels. So the SPY is up 0.02% today. Energy is down 2.1%. Materials is up 0.3%. Industrials is up 0.3%. Consumer discretionary is up 1.3%. Consumer staples is up 1.5%. Healthcare is up 0.5%. Financials is up 1%. Information technology is down 0.9%. Communication services is up 1.3%. Utilities is down 1.3%. And real estate is down 0.4%. All right, now let me pull up my notes because I already did this before the show so you can see what we got over here. My phone did not go off about that donation. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to check on that too. All right, so here are my notes, and you can see that I already put these in here. So we'll go over this in a second. I want to check on this Cash app, and I'll pull up this comment. So take this down, go here, comment. All right, let me see what's going on here. Got it. Got it. Bro, appreciate you, bro. Let me go ahead and update this sponsor. Thank you, man. Thank you. So sponsor, and you the first, well, you the second sponsor. You the second sponsor on the show, but you the first one that donated this. So we gonna make sure we get this up here. All right, so cash balance, go here. Did you put a note? I'm gonna put, okay, I got one I'm gonna put. Hold on, guys, I'm updating the sponsor. Give me 1 second. Got it. Here we go. Here. AKP. Got it. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. Hit okay. And yeah. Guys, this thing is a little funny, and I did not know that was going to do that. So the screen is blank, like I'm not even up here. There we go. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm here. Just updating the sponsor. So there we go. It's updated. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the donation to the channel, man. Appreciate you. All right, let's finish getting with the show. Let's go back here. Take down overlays. Cam back up. I got all of this stuff selected. All of it ain't even supposed to be selected. Then take this down. Woo, I need a better system than this. All right, so, but thank you, man. Appreciate you. That's going to help out a lot. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Love you, man. Appreciate you. So the number one gainer for today is XLP Consumer Staples. They're up 1.5%. The number two gainer for today is XLY Consumer Discretionary. They're up 1.3%. Number three gainer is XLC, which is Communication Services. They're up. Let's do this from here. So the notes are the same, guys. You can see the two decimal places right over here. So I'm rounding it off in our notes, but over here you can see the full decimal places right here in percentage change. So number one gainer, Consumer Staples. Number two, Consumer Discretionary. Number three, Communication Services. The biggest loser, we just reversed this. So the biggest loser is Energy, down 2.1%. Number two loser, Utilities, XLU, they're down 1.3%. And Information Technology, XLK, is down 0.9%. Okay, so that's what we got from the sectors in the S&P 500 index and how they perform today. All right, now let's move on. Let's see what we got here. Talk about, is it biggest gainer? Let's go here. Take that down. Take that goes there. Take this off. All right. Time to follow the money. Did I even say all of that? I don't even remember if I said all of that. All right, now let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. All right, so let's go back to the charts. And we're going to go to pro market closed. Cut this other camera off. I don't want it to overheat. And we're going to go to the market watch tab. And we're going to go to the quotes sub tab. So now we have a descendant order. Guys, the biggest loser for today is Sandisk, guys. Sandisk Corporation, ticker SNDK. They lost 11.02% today. Previous close was $1,436.50. And they closed today at $1,278.23. Crazy. Now, something I wanted to, I'll tell you when we get to the charts. All right, so we got that. Let's do a hypothetical. Pull up our calculator. Let's say if somebody invested $8,500. Let's do $8,500 today. $8,500. And they lost that 11.02%. So we're going to negate that, turn into a decimal. They would have lost $936.70 of their investment. We add the $8,500 principal back to it. So they'd be left with $7,563.30. All right, so we got that. Now let's go over to, before we do that, we need to select Sandisk. Then we go over to the Analyze tab so we can see that Sandisk is in the information technology sector. So we're going to see how that sector performed, how the industry it's inside of performed, and how the sub-industry it's inside of performed. So let's go over here to the Market Watch tab. Then we're going to go to the Visualize sub tab. Here's the information technology sector. Take me off the screen. So we're going to go here and we're looking for Sandisk. Sandisk is right here, guys. So Sandisk is in the technology, hardware, and storage peripherals industry. So let's go inside there. Bam. And we can see it's kind of balanced, guys. We got 5 companies that's red and 4 companies that's green. Apple has such a large market cap. It's taking up almost all the space. But that's what we have. Now, the sub-industry is the same, guys. Technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals is also the sub-industry. If I expand this, we can break it down. So here is the sector, information technology sector, right here. Here's the sub-industry. Here's the industry. And then right here is the sub-industry, right below it. Okay, I know there's a lot of arrows, but I just wanted to point it out to you. So that's what we got. All right, now let's go back to the Analyze tab. And let's talk about Sandisk before we go visit their website. And remember, a link to their website is down in the description for your convenience. So Sandisk Corporation, here's their website link. Sandisk Corporation develops, manufactures, and sells data storage devices and solutions using NAND flash technology in the United States, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and internationally. Got it. Now let's go to their website. Put me back on the screen. Bam. We have their ticker there. Take the platform disclaimer down. Yeah, we're good. All right. Now, guys, they sell storage. They sell storage, flash cards, drives, you name it. Hard drives, memory cards, SSDs. That's what they got. We've covered this company so much this month. It's crazy. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. So let's scroll over this homepage and then we'll start going to the locations that we need to go to. So Tiny Drive, award-winning impact. Ready to succeed this school year. So they promoting stuff for school. Flash drives, memory, SSDs, future ready, PCIe, Gen 5 speed. These are different products that they have available. Remember, links to the website are down in the description for your convenience as well. So here we are at the bottom of the home page. Guys, we're going to go to About Us. We're going to go to Careers, and then we're going to go to Investors. So let's get into it. About Us. Put me back on the screen. There we go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you so much. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you in advance. There we go. All right, now, About Us. At Sandisk, we keep people and businesses moving forward with inspired innovations to actualize their potential. Who we are, our principles, Innovation, sustainability, collaboration and community, responsible leadership, innovation, propel progress, sustainability, invest in tomorrow. And here are some other things about the company. Here we go. Collaboration and community, build better together, responsible leadership, guide the way, executive leaders, board of directors. Got it. Guys, and I see something I need to fix. I didn't catch that earlier. Let me fix something. So we go to overlays, prompt overlay. Cool. Got it. Need to fix something. Go here, properties. That's supposed to be a capital I. That's why it didn't work, because I had the caps lock on. There we go. Fix that. All right, cool. Now we can go back here. Bam. That didn't take long. Bam. All right, now let's go to careers. Take me off the screen. Here we go. Careers. Join Team Sandisk. Inspire and innovate one pixel at a time. So meet Sandisk, students and grads, benefits. That's where we need to go. How well do you take care of the employees? Our teams: finance, strategy, technology, engineering, global operations, people experience, legal and compliance, sales, and marketing. How we hire, the hiring processes. I've talked about this before, guys. I think it's excellent for companies to show candidates and make them familiar with the hiring process before they apply for the job and while they're going through the process. I think that's fantastic. Okay, find the perfect role. All right, right up here, guys, benefits is at the top as well. So let's click there. Helping you thrive. Holistic support keeps every part of your life running. To make sure that happens, we offer comprehensive benefits and wellness options to fit your life and needs. Okay, so guys, they do a breakdown. It's right here. Let me take me off the screen so you can see it. There we go, guys. So healthcare, lifestyle, and well-being, and financial benefits. So we got that. Now let's go to investors. And of course, yeah. All right, we're good. Let's see if that zooms in. We're good. We're where we need to be at. All right, the stock information is at the top. We're going to click on that in a second. Let's browse over this page. Our mission: inspiration and innovation in motion. Sandisk delivers innovative flash solutions and advanced memory technologies that meet people and businesses at the intersection of their aspirations and the moment, enabling them to keep moving and pushing possibility forward. Here's some stats about the company. They have over 11,000 total patent assets worldwide, guys. That's crazy. Some news releases about the company, latest presentations, events, quick links, and the stock information. You can access it down here as well. Let's go ahead and use that one. So here's the stock quote. The chart is below it. It's going to take a minute to load, guys. We visited this company so much this month, and I'm going to tell you exactly how many times and all of the other data when we look at the chart. But here are other tools that they have available for people, for investors or people interested in finding this out on their website. So there's the chart. Now let's talk about what I found in my research about the company. So let's go here. We have that up. We're good. All right. So Sandisk Corporation, ticker SNDK. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage flash memory solutions across the consumer, enterprise, and industrial markets, offering solutions such as: number one, complete removable storage options, including SD cards and USB drives for retail consumers. Number two, scalable solid-state storage products, including internal SSDs, portable SSDs, and flash modules for device manufacturers. And number three, optimized embedded flash systems tailored for mobile devices, automotive systems, and connected technology. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Apple Incorporated, ticker AAPL, Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, and Dell Technologies Incorporated, ticker DELL. All right, now let's go to the charts. Here we are. We're on the charts. You're not on the chart, so there you are. We have that, and all of that is there. We do have Sandisk pulled up. All right, now here's something I want to tell you guys. Today is the 5th time we've covered Sandisk this month, guys. Just this month. This is the 5th time we've covered Sandisk, and I'm about to give you some stats about that, which is what I was talking about earlier. So we've covered them 5 times this month, including today, and 4 of those times they've been the biggest loser, losing about 12% each one of those days on average. Crazy, guys. All right, so now let's look at the 1-year daily charts. Let's start here. And because we've covered them so much, that's why we have so many lines. Don't feel overwhelmed. We're about to break it down in a second. So we're looking at a 1 year daily chart for Sandisk. Their 52-week low is $40.10. 52-week high is $2,354.39. Crazy, guys. That's what that is. Nuts. Okay? Crazy, crazy. Now we're going to look at the higher time frame. And guys, this is a 10-year weekly chart. And if you read very well, you can see right here, it doesn't go back to 2016. It only goes back to 2025. So it's about a 2-year chart. The reason why is because this company broke off from Seagate. So Seagate ticker is STX. So once they separated off from Seagate and got their own ticker, that was in early 2025. I'm trying to adjust this. What month was that? Yep. So February of 2025 was when they ended up having their own direct investment into Sandisk. So they have a 2-year low of $27.89 and a 2-year high of $2,354.39, which is also the 52-week high. Okay. Now that we have that, we can go ahead and go to this lower time frame and put me back on the chart. And now we can zoom in and start talking about it. Ooh, how many days we got until earnings? Guys, it's 7 trading days until the next earnings. Okay, so let's zoom in. And this stock is just, man, they put people through the ringer with this stock, guys. So it had a gap right here. So it gapped down. So this pattern right here, these 3 candles, that's the evening star pattern. So that's a bearish pattern because it was clearly in an uptrend, and then you have the evening star pattern form. The crazy thing was, after it did that, it traded below the 9-day simple moving average on that first candle, which formed the complete pattern. The second candle closed below the 9, and then the next candle opened above the 9, 2 areas of support, and almost tested exactly the previous 52-week high. So that one move, and then it gapped up on that too. That would make somebody who identified this first pattern as bearish assume that it's flipping back bullish with that move. It gapped up, it closed near the high. It was real tricky. That's what I'm trying to say. It was real tricky. It didn't just start trading off straight down after it made those first few closes under the 9-day simple moving average. I know that could have drove somebody crazy because that first pattern was actually right. It just was that it was tested again that made it look like it was recovering and continuing to move up. Then you had another big bullish candle right here. Then you had the long wick on this candle. So that looks like a hammer. So these 2 patterns here look bullish. But overall, they weren't able to make a new 52-week high. And then remember, previous gaps become resistance. So now if we identify that, I'm just walking you through this because I know a lot of people were talking about Sandisk when it was riding up. I've seen a lot of content creators talking about this because it was like, it just kept going up, kept going up, kept going up. And from my experience, the average people, retailers, do not make money in the market. That's like an unspoken rule. Institutions make money, retailers lose. So when the average person can just buy this stock and it just keep going up and they keep making money, that was just a red flag to me. Me personally, I was like, I'm not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's crazy. It's overextended. It's overvalued. I don't know what the value of the company is, but I know doggone well that a company don't grow this fast, looking at these numbers and this percentage in a short period of time. This makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm not touching it. And now all of a sudden it's coming down. Well, not all of a sudden, but you know what I mean? Like everybody thought it was going to the moon. Same thing with SpaceX. I did a video about that, breaking down, guys, this is not right. This isn't possible. Now, I actually looked at the financials and everything with that. I didn't even care about looking at the financials with this company in particular because I knew it was a good company, because I knew it was a high demand for memory. But I knew that the price of the memory was they're overcharging for it based on the demand. That's not a sustainable business model. So they were saying because the demand was up, they could charge more for it. That's not sustainable, guys. That's not a sustainable business plan. Because when you have other companies that sell the same thing you do, that means all of them have to overcharge in order for that to work. So if you start taking their business, let's say everybody start overcharging, right? So if everybody overcharging, I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. If everybody's overcharging, that only works while everybody's overcharging. So let's say somebody breaks that pattern and this storage company or memory company start competing on price. When they reduce their prices, customers are going to start going to them because they're charging less. And then it's a ripple effect. It's like an avalanche. Now, all of those memory companies start competing with price. Prices get lower, 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 lower. Guess what happens when they're selling their products for less? As they start selling their products for less, that means the profit margins become smaller. Now, if the profit margins become smaller, that means the people that invested in the company make less. Now the valuation starts to balance itself back out. Now earnings come out and people were pricing in future orders that haven't been filled yet as well. It's just crazy. It was a whole bunch of different stuff going on. That's how I was looking at it, and it didn't make sense to me. So this previous gap right here that I put on the chart, we can see that this candle got back above it and closed above that previous gap, but it wasn't able to get above that body on this candle right here. So it's different things you can look at to try to figure out what would you look for confirmation to believe that it's going to continue to the upside, if that's what you were looking for. Okay. So I'm just identifying some of this as we go through it, because we don't really have no price levels to do, because it's responding to what we had already. We see that it's gapped down a few times on the way down. It's gapped up a few times. So it gapped up here. It gapped up there. It gapped up here. And now we have our candle for today. So here's what's going on here, guys. We had a gap up back here. So we're looking at a 1-year daily chart. Take me off the screen. This is May 1st. So between May 1st and May 4th, so that's going to be over a weekend, Sandisk gapped up. Remember, gaps become support and resistance. So we can see that the wick for today's candle almost came down and tested that gap from back in May. But it closed in between those price levels we had on the charts already. So if somebody's watching this, they like, hindsight is 2020. So let me break that down. And I know I'm chatty tonight, but just hear me out. Hindsight is 2020. When people are showing you these charts and they're telling you what happened after it didn't happen, that's not as useful as putting these levels out and then actually seeing that the price is responding to something you had already put out before it played out. So that's what I like about doing these live streams. We've covered Sandisk so many times. You can go look. You can go look on Friday, actually. Our Friday live stream, we covered Sandisk. We already had these levels here. That's where it closed at today. We already had those levels there. And we could have had those levels back on there 4 or 5 videos a day. A day. 4 or 5 videos on Sandisk ago, because the gap happened all the way back in May. So we already identified it. So anyway, as far as resistance, let's point out the 200, the 9-day simple moving average is $1,476.18. And then we have our, let me mouse over this candle. Our 200-day simple moving average is at $822.62. So it's still trading above the 200-day simple moving average, but it's trading below the 9-day simple moving average. On the higher time frame, guys, I really wouldn't even worry about it, because it hasn't even had enough bars to create the 200-day simple moving average. We only have the 9-day simple moving average here, and that's at $1,727.27. Okay, so we have that there. Now let's go back down to our lower time frame. So we have our support and resistance level. I'll spread this out so you can see it. And that's it, guys. So my first level of resistance, if it recovers from this close that it had today, is $1,379.42. And definitely I'm seeing resistance at that 9-day simple moving average. And that moving average is in between this resistance zone. So that's even more significant because you have more than one indication of resistance there. So if it goes down, I'm looking for it to find support at that gap. Okay, so that's what I got there. Now let's go ahead and cut on the floating data box. I'm gonna put my hands on that fly after the show, and it's so big I can hear it, like it's all around my face. Oh, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna get it. As soon as this show over with, I just don't want to hit myself swinging at it while we doing this show. All right, here we go. So Sandisk opened today at $1,462.99. They had a high. Oh gosh, they had a high of $1,462.99. The reason why I'm shocked like that, guys, is that today's high was exactly where it opened at. Like it didn't go a penny higher. It was like it opened and it just started coming straight down. So this candle has a shaven head. That's what that's called. It's a shaven head. The high and the open on that red candle are the exact same price. And it's in the thousands. It didn't do 1 penny above the open. It was like open, down. Crazy. All right, and they had a low of $1,222.01, and they closed today at $1,278.23, which is a trading range of $240.98. Now, when we look at the the trading volume for today, they traded 21.2 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We're about to find out. So let's go ahead and cut the floating data box off. Take me off the screen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sticking with me, because I know I've been talking tonight. So if you here, hats off to you. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. So the average trading volume for Sandisk is 12.7 million shares in a daily trading session. Today, they traded 21.2 million, which is definitely above average. So that's that big body red candle right there. So they almost did twice as much as they do on average in a daily trading session today. And then on Friday, they did 14. They did 14 million. So it was above average. And the body of that candle is smaller than today's candle as well. But today, significant volume. Now, how much? How much? How can we get an idea of what that is? So we're going to look at the volume percentile. So when we look at the volume percentile out of the most recent 252 trading days volumes, today's volume was higher than 90.9% of those trading days. To be even more exact, only 23 of those days had higher volume than today. DA days above. Boom, guys, we got it. Now we can move on. Let's talk about the biggest gainer for today. I'm sick of Sandisk. I'm sick of them. So let's go back over here to the Market Watch tab. Take Sandisk down. We're going to put this up temporarily. Let's start fixing this because we might have to go back here in a second. Go there. Go back to analyze. No, we're going to Market Watch. Market Watch, go to the quote sub tab. Let's put this in ascending order, and there we go. So the biggest gainer for today, guys, is Workday Incorporated, ticker WDAY. Okay, so they gained 9.01% today. Their previous close was $135.34, and they closed today at $147.54. Let's do our hypothetical. And let's see if I can remember what we used. We were using $8,500. So if somebody invested $8,500, not $85,000, $8,500, and they got that 9.01% gain, we need to change this to the decimal. We hit percentage equal. They would have gained $765.85. We add that to the principal. So that was $8,500. Total investment would have grown to $9,265.85. Bada boom, bada bing. Now we can close this out, and we're going to go over here to the Analyze tab after we select Workday. So go to Analyze so we can see that Workday is in the information technology sector. And I think this is going to be very informative and educational for us to look at. So they're in the information technology sector, just like Sandisk is. But Sandisk was extremely red. Workday is extremely green. So they're in the same sector. But let's see what's going on with the industries that they're inside of and the sub-industries that they're inside of and see if we can find some clues there. So let's go over to the Market Watch tab and we go over to the Visualize sub tab. Take me off the screen and let's get to it. So what I'm looking at, guys, we're going to go right here to the information technology sector. Bam. Now we're looking for Workday. Now Workday has a smaller market cap than a lot of these. I wouldn't say a lot. Let's just say Sandisk. So Sandisk market cap is going to be represented by the size of the space that it takes up. So we can tell that Workday has a smaller market cap. You can see it. It's 36 billion, the market cap for Workday. But for Sandisk is 189 billion. Billion, B with a B. All right. So here's what I want you to pay attention to. We're in the information technology sector. But if we go to where Sandisk was, that's right here. We don't have to go inside. But some of those big names were red today. Same thing over here. So information technology, these market caps are huge. NVIDIA, Micron, AMD, AMAT, Lam Resch Corp, CLA Corp, Intel, Marvel. Okay. So these are pulling down that sector because of how much space they take up as far as market cap and weight. But if we actually look at, so let's go inside this one for a second. We see more red than green, right? So this is in the semiconductors and semiconductor equipment industry. But if we go over to where Workday is, that's in the software industry inside of the information technology sector. Guys, that's way more green. That's way more green. You only got 3 companies that showed up red in this industry. Now we're going to look at the sub industry. So the sub industry is application software where Workday is. All of it's green, guys. And this is what I mean. Some people are under the idea that these companies perform separately in every situation. That's not true. Yes, it's an individual company, but if something is going on positive that all of those businesses in that sector can benefit from, it's likely that they're all going to rise. They're all going to benefit from that. If it's something in that industry or sub industry that hurts those businesses, all of them are going to suffer from it. So we have to understand the difference between certain things that happen. So like if a company has a new CEO or a new legal issue that they're dealing with, that's going to be specific to that company. But now if it's a shortage of the materials that companies use to make microchips, then that's going to hurt all the semiconductor companies. You see what I'm saying? So like stuff like that, we have to keep an eye on and pay attention to. Okay, so let's go back to the Analyze tab. We're looking at Workday. Take me off the screen. Here we go. So before we go to Workday's website, here's the link to their website. It's also down in the description for your convenience. Here's a little bit about the company profile. Workday Incorporated. Let's read a little bit about it. Workday Incorporated provides enterprise cloud applications in the United States and internationally. Guys, I did research on it, so we're not going to read all of that. Let's go ahead and go to their website. Put me back on the screen. Take that down. We already had our ticker up. Good. Let's make sure we're zoomed in. Let's browse over it and let's get this done, guys. Where we need to go, I believe, is going to be right up under company, but let's browse over the home page. Put AI agents to work for you, okay? For you. With Workday AI, you can activate teams of specialized agents to perform key processes across HR, finance, and IT. Got it. A unified AI platform built to serve your entire organization. HR, finance, IT, legal, operations. Got it. AI agents that understand work. Turning AI into ROI, return on investment. Discover how Workday customers are driving real results with AI. So those are different clients, I believe, that they have. Yep. Chipotle. Ready to talk? Get in touch. All right, now we're at the bottom of the page. Take me off the screen. Actually, what we need to look at is on the right-hand side. So we're going to go to About Workday. I don't think we need to go to Our Story. We're going to go to Careers, and then we're going to go to Investor Relations. Depending on what we can find under About Workday will depend on whether or not we go to Our Story, okay? Let's keep it moving. Let's go to About Workday. Waiting on it to load. Here we go. Leadership. Meet our leadership team. That's it. I ain't even see nothing else to click. Am I missing something? Yeah, guys, we got to go to Our Story. I ain't never seen nothing like that. About the company, all they did was show the leaders. They ain't say the mission statement or nothing. Our Story, leading our customers forever forward. That's comical. Customers in over 175 countries, over 20,000 employees, over 11,000 customers, 11,000 and a half customers. And over 65% of the Fortune 500 companies use Workday, guys. I like companies that do business with other businesses. Like I like businesses that have a large customer base as far as businesses. Businesses depend on that business. I like stuff like that. So our vision, Workday leverages the power of AI to elevate humans and supercharge work, moving businesses forever forward. Our journey, 20 incredible years, countless amazing moments. So here's some history. I'm not going to read all of that. Links down in the description for your convenience, and you can check this out. Our company, how we lead the way in the future of work, core values, leadership, next gen AI. Got it. We're moving a little faster. I like this. Okay, so let's go to careers. Guys, you know what we're looking for. We're looking for the benefits. How well do you take care of the employees? And thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. So hiring programs, teams, I don't see anything that said. We're probably going to have to click Life at Workday, but we'll see if we can find it on this page. Workday careers, brighter work days start here. Why Workday? High performance fun that delivers. We move fast, back each other up, and keep things enjoyable while driving real value for our customers. Got it. Find your place to shine. So these are different departments within the company. We're not going to read all of that. Got it. Yeah. So let's go ahead and go to Life at Workday. Maybe the benefits will be under there. Okay. You're not just at work. You're at Workday. Pride in the work, support from every side, and people who bring out your best. Core values. We have saw that. People, integrity, sunrest. Benefits, guys. Where are the benefits from the very beginning? No. Culture. A culture you can actually feel. A living, breathing culture where skills obsessed 24/7, unlocking potential is our thing. Here it is, guys. Benefits. Oh, I almost gave up, but we found it. I'm going to click on Learn More. After we browse over this, I'm just going to show you what else we got going on here. Got it. All right, we got it. Not too much more. Go ahead and go to Learn More. See how much more detail they go into. Reject. So it depends on where you're located. So of course I click the United States. I'm going to zoom in to 150. Benefits, U.S. benefits, important dates. All right, guys, that was weird. But that's where it's located. It seemed like they gave a little bit more information on what we were looking at before we actually clicked. Seems like to me. Yeah, like right here. Like they gave more information right here. All right, let's move on. Investor relations. Bam. Blow this up, zoom in. 150, we're good. Stock info is right at the top. So let's browse over this. There's the stock information there as well. Investing in Workday, earnings results, see what's happening. A partner for change, investor tools. Do you have, okay, so we're at the bottom. Let's go ahead and go to stock info, stock quote and chart. There we go, guys. There's the stock quote. There's the chart. Great. Now let's talk about what I found in my research about the company. So we got through it. Let's go here. Bam. We have that. Cool. Biggest gain in research. Workday Incorporated, ticker WDAY, when it comes to their goods and services, they manage enterprise cloud operations across the financial management, human resources, and spend management markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete financial management options, including general ledger and accounts payable for corporate finance teams. Number two, scalable human capital products, including payroll processing, employee onboarding, and talent management for modern workforces. And number three, optimized spend management systems tailored for procurement automation, strategic sourcing, and expense tracking. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Salesforce Incorporated, ticker CRM, Amazon.com Incorporated, ticker AMZN, and S&P Global Incorporated, ticker SPGI. Let's go to the charts. Let's go to the charts. Here we go. All right. Bam, bam. Yeah, we're good. Got a sponsor tonight. My brother tuned in and showed some love. Man, I appreciate you. We got people tuning in, hitting that like button and sharing. We doing well tonight. All right, here we go. Workday. We are looking at a 1 year daily chart. Bam. 52-week high of $249.85. 52-week low of $110.36. And it looks like we haven't did any technicals on this company before, but I'm going to do my best to make it quick. So let's go ahead and look at a higher time frame. So we're looking at the 10-year weekly chart. Confirm that right here. 10-year weekly on the NASDAQ. Here's 2016, guys. It's right here, buried beneath that stuff, and I'm blocking it so you can't see it. 2016 is right here. So we do have the 10 years right here, 2016. So here's the 10-year low of $65.79. This was the 10-year weekly I had pointed out earlier. Here's the 10-year high. Here is the 10-year high of $311.28. Got it. Okay, so with the current price action being right here in this range, this was a steep decline, and I'm seeing some levels here. So let's go ahead and knock these levels out. Let's get that out of the way. So if I use this mouse, put me back on the screen, go to price level. I'm seeing here, come on, snap to that week. I'm seeing there, and I'm seeing here, guys. Now those levels are going to be above where the price action is right now. So the price action is right here. And I'm looking to the left to see if I can see anything that makes that significant, and I don't. So we're going to go ahead and go to the 1 year daily chart, and we're going to focus on this area right here. Let's go ahead and zoom in. All right, take me off the screen because I see some things over here I want to point out. Now, remember how we were talking about gaps, guys? This has a lot of small gaps. Yeah, they have. So I'm not even going to go that far back to the left because they have so many gaps. I just want to focus. We're going to focus on the gaps. Let me put me back on the screen. We're going to focus on the gaps from right to left because they have so many of them. I don't even want to go back that far. I want to start with what I can see immediately from right to left because this company has a lot of gaps. So there's the first one. Extend this over to December 1st. Highlighted yellow. There we go. Pull this up. Price level. And I'm going to do my best to move a little faster. And that looks like that's not on the high. That's actually on the open. So let me double check this. I mean the close. So the close is at 135.34. The high was at 136. So if I go here, yeah, that wasn't right. The bottom needs to be 136. Even. There we go. Now that's right. There we go. Gotta have them eyes, boy. All right. Now, the gap between those, that was a gap, but I'm not going to worry about that one. Here's another gap. So let's do that one. Wait a minute. No. Remove that drawing. Let's identify this gap. Rectangle tool, high, low, edit properties. December 1st, bam, 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 bam. December 1st, make it yellow. Now, this has been filled, but it is a gap. But being as so we already have a gap right here, the price action is up here. I'm trying to find something to where we can see resistance, okay? So here's an opportunity for me to point that out. If we look right over here, guys, there was a gap between these 2 days. Now, if we extend this, I'm not going to make this one yellow this time because that area has been filled. But I'm going to take it to December 1st, so it'll actually span over. You see? So that previous gap is resistance. You see how the wick peaked out the top and it closed within that gap? So I'm going to put the high and the low of that gap as price levels. Okay. So we're doing pretty good just by focusing on the recent gaps. And I think we're almost done. We're going to do it like this. Because I can see, now that we've done that, we can see just by looking to the left how price was responding to those ranges before. It's pretty cool. Now, if we look up here, we already have that price level here from the higher time frame, which is at $158.74. Guys, I feel like we're done. I would say this would be a price level. Let's do this one and I'll explain why. All right, that price level that I just put here at $151.23, that's really close. So let me point this out to you. Guys, that's near a psychological price level. The round numbers. Remember we were talking about that, those round numbers. So that $151.23 and that $149.06 is really close to $150. So that psychological level is going to act as support and resistance just psychologically to people because of that round number. Both of those are so close to it. But I pointed that out because I'm seeing that this wick, this high, the close, you can see how it's been responded to a lot. These wicks, let me change this. So the close of this green candle, the wick of this red candle, the wick and the open of this green candle, the wick of this green candle, the open of this red candle, the wick of that one, they're responding to that price level. So it might run into some problems there as well. I would just keep an eye on it, okay? So with the price action being right here, that's today's candle. Today's candle is right here. So with that being today's candle, I want to see how many areas of resistance we have. We have 149.06, 151.23, and then 158.74. I'm happy with that. As far as support, we got 140.19, 136, 126.08, and 123.30. Perfect. All right, now the simple moving average, guys, the 9-day simple moving average is at $140.40. The 200-day simple moving average, I believe, is a lot higher. Or above, definitely. So I'll show you where that is. It's right here, guys. That's at $167.08. So we're good. So we got our technicals. Let's go ahead and do our stock quote for Workday. Go to settings, cut on my floating data box, mouse over today's candle, and let's get it. So Workday opened today at $141.55. They had a high of $150.24. They had a low of $140.19, and they closed today at $147.54, which is a trading range of $10.05. Now, when we look at the trading volume, they traded 6.8 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is it a little deal? We're about to find out. So let's cut off the floating data box, take me off the screen, and look at the average trading volume for Workday in a daily trading session. Guys, they trade 4.2 million shares in a daily trading session. Today, they traded 6.8 million. So today's candle is definitely above average. Now, the previous trading volume, they traded 3.4 million shares on Friday. That candle right there. Now, how big of a deal is the trading volume on today's candle? Now, I want to point something out to you. This is why this volume percentile is so important. If we round this off, this is 7 million. So that's only 3 million more than 4 million, but it's close to doubling this number. 7 is close to 8. So that's how I'm looking at that. So how often does something like that happen is where the volume percentile comes in at. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was higher than 92.1% of those trading days volumes. So how many days, to be exact, were above today's volume? 20. 20 out of 252, guys. That's what we got. We done. Oh, thank you guys so much. We are done. So let's go here. Let's go ahead and wrap up the show. Go there. Appreciate tonight's sponsor, my brother King 313 AKP. Appreciate you with the $25 sponsorship for tonight. And that was wonderful. All right, now let's wrap up the show. And thanks to Night Bella for being here all the time. I appreciate you. You just don't know how much you tuning in every night and being supporting and being a part of this community means to me. I really appreciate you. So you already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, August 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're reviewing this week's biggest gainers and losers, market sentiment, market volatility, S&P 500 sector performance, and creating a watch list for upcoming earnings. Make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care and God bless.